Hey guys, and welcome. Let me take a minute, get a little set up. I've been on calls since 10:15 this morning, so it's now 4. All right. What we're going to talk about is making your business sustainable and how to do a wellness consult, because the two things are intricately tied together. And I know that some of you are like, how do I do a wellness consult? Some of you have no idea what a wellness consult is. And you're just like, I'm going to make this business sustainable. So here's the thing. If you had like a craft business, which is the kind of people I usually work with before I started doing doTERRA, and you do a craft show, you go to a craft show and you sell your work. A person comes, they give you money, they walk away. End of story. You have no way of making money off them in the future. You might get their email list and you might remarket to them. In other words, like send them messages to remind them how much they like your thing and that they can buy again. Maybe give them a coupon code, but there's no promise that that is going to be a repeat customer. The thing that makes doTERRA a sustainable, long-term passive income in the future is not that it's passive up front, but it's that you oils and supplements and lotions are consumables, meaning that people will use them up. So unlike a scarf that I buy at a craft show or a hat, I'm going to use up my oils and supplements and need to reorder them. doTERRA has created an amazing reordering plan called LRP, Loyalty Rewards Program. Hopefully by now you guys know what LRP is and all the benefits of it. If you don't, there is a video in the Essential Enthusiasm Club where it's called How to Earn Free Oils. It's pinned to the top of the page. It gets a lot of people on LRP. I suggest watching it yourself so you feel like you can talk about it. As a business builder, I want you to think about this. I want you to think about it 2 ways. The first way is your own motivation for doing this is that if people order once and then walk away, you're not creating long-term sustainable income. A lot of businesses work like that. A lot of retail businesses work like that. And selling oils retail or just enrolling someone and them getting one kit and you never speaking to them again is exactly like that. Yes, you'll make the fast start. Yes, it might bump you up that month in your rank, but that's it. What makes this business passive, sustainable, long-term, ongoing income is that people reorder. So that's your own motivation for talking about LRP and for doing a wellness consult is you want to connect with those customers and help them reorder the oils because they're going to use them up. But most of us are not driven by our own selfish needs because you guys are a bunch of wonderful, fabulous unicorns and you're caring and loving. So that doesn't motivate you. I found when I talk about that with y'all, you're not motivated by just building a sustainable business because you don't want to sell something unless it's helpful for someone else. And you shouldn't sell something unless it's helpful for someone else. You're going to be much more effective at this when you realize how amazing LRP is for the other customer. Not the other customer, the other person, the customer. So here's a way to think about it. And you really need to work on this so that you feel this way about it. Oh my goodness, you're going to use up your oils, you're going to use up your supplements, and you're going to want to get more because you're going to see what they can do in your life. Maybe the deep blue rub makes your muscles stop hurting or helps with your fibro pain. Maybe the breathe helps you breathe easier and is clearing up your kids' asthma. Maybe all of these amazing things happened. So you're going to want to get more. The best way to get more is with a loyalty rewards program order because you're going to get back everything you spend in shipping, 100%, you're going to get back in points that you can spend on more oils. Then anything that you order, you're going to earn points back from. In the beginning, it might just be 10%, depending on which kits you started with. But after doing that for a year, it's going to be 30%. Now, because you have a wellness advocate or wholesale customer account, you're already saving 25%. So that 30% is on top of that. You get back in product points you can use at any time. That's amazing. There's like nothing else that we can buy that works like that. And if you are not sharing that with people, then you are making them pay 30% more over the next year in your oils. That's crazy. And it's selfish of you not to share it. So the way that we can share LRP with people is through mentioning it at the end of your class or your one-on-one And then by meeting with them after they get their oils. So here's something important to remember. When we talk to somebody about something, they only remember 20 to 30% of what we said. So in your one-on-one or your class, they're most likely remembering a little bit about what you said about some of the oils, and hopefully they're remembering what you said about the kit and they buy the kit. But they're not going to remember everything else you said about their membership and the benefits and everything else. So that's why you get together with them a week later. No, within a week, their oils should have come in, and you show them how to use the oils they got. You talk about their health concerns and you explain how they can order more when they're ready to. We call that a wellness consult, but in reality, I was talking with some of our builders, we never use the term wellness consult. If you are a fitness professional, or you're a nurse, or you're a doctor, or you're a psychologist, or a chiropractor, or a massage therapist, you might want to use the term wellness consult because it's an awesome free service you're providing. If you are a French major who helps people with their social media marketing like I am, then you probably might not feel comfortable saying wellness consult. So what we often say is, when your oils come in, let's get together and have a coffee and go over how you use them, because I want to make sure you get the best use out of your oils. That's it. You don't have to call it in anything. Just say, let's get some coffee. That's what many of our builders do, or let's get together and catch up on how you can use those oils. So really make sure that you're specifying that you're not just catching up to hear about their kids' soccer or football, but that you are catching up because you want to help them use their oils. So I'm going to give you some specific scripts you can say, and then I'll go into what you actually do in that meeting. So whenever you hear anybody talk about the wellness consult, that's what they mean. They mean the meeting after they get their oils, where you help them use their oils and you help them figure out how to order more oils when they're ready to. I'm going to walk you through exactly what to say in all of those situations. You may want to take notes. I haven't written this out. I talked it out with Brittany a couple weeks ago because she wasn't sure how to do a wellness consult, and she took some notes, but write down your own notes, and then we can share them in the comments below. You can take a picture and share them so everybody can benefit. I am going to go over, and so I just got a message from Brittany saying she just did a wellness consult this morning and got the person on LRP. So this is the thing I want you to understand. It's normal to feel kind of weird about these conversations until you realize that you are helping them use the products they bought. And that is the exact verbiage I use. I say, I want to help you use the product you bought. And I think I have a, hold on just a second and I'll tell you. Okay, so this is a script of what you can say to somebody after they've got their oils. So what I like to do is, at the end of the one-on-one or the class, when they actually order, fill out the order form, or they go online and they order, I say, awesome, so your oils are going to come in just a couple of days. When they do, I want to get together and make sure that you know how to use what you got. We can go through the oils together. I can answer any of your questions. We'll also talk about your health concerns and what oils to use for those, and how to get the most out of your membership. I say that right to them then. And then often I'll say, so if it's Friday, your oils are going to come in by Monday or Tuesday. You want to get together Wednesday or Thursday? And there's two reasons you want to do it right away. One, you don't want the package to sit there and them not open it. The sooner they open it, the better. The other reason you want to do this is because you have 14 days to move somebody. And in this conversation, when you sit down and have a coffee, you will realize they are super into oils and they want to share it with everybody they met because it just cured their cold. Or you're going to realize that they're just warming up to it. So that is going to impact where you place them when you move them. So we're not going to talk about that, but I'm just saying you really want to do it like in the first 7 days, because it's going to make your placements a lot easier. So after you make that, you might immediately get it on your calendar right then, which is awesome. The exact words to use after a class or one-on-one is, hey, you're going to get your oils in a couple days. When they come in, let's get together so we can go over how to use those oils, any health concerns you want to check out more oils for, and I'll show you how to get the most out of your membership, because now you get 25% off anything you order, and I want to show you how to actually log in and do that. Okay, that's what you say. Then if you haven't scheduled something then, either because it was a class or it was busy, or they're like, oh, I don't know, I'm super busy, then send them a follow-up text. This is an example of one that Brittany sent after I told her what to say. So this is our phrasing that has worked really well for her. She's gotten a lot of wellness consults from this phrasing. Here it is. hey, let's set up a time to talk about the oils again when they arrive. Okay, so I think she sent this right after she sent like a welcome, yeah, you signed up kind of message. Let's set up a time to talk about the oils again when they arrive. It's my goal to help you use up everything you got. So feel really good about the purchase and feel the benefits of the oils. I'll be on my trip, blah, blah, blah. Maybe we can talk on the phone this day or this day. And then she got a reply several days later. Hey, hun, sorry, blah, blah. I would love to meet up and chat about my new goodies. And then, yay, when are you free next? This time or this time? And they immediately set something up. So that is my favorite phrasing. It's my goal to help you use up the oils so that you feel like you're happy with what you purchased, and so you can start feeling the benefits of the oils. Because they bought the oils because they expected some benefit from them. You want to help them experience that benefit. Not just because it'll help your business, but because you don't want to be a sleazy salesman. None of us want to sell something, have the person get it at their home, and then not be happy with it, right? And when you come from this place of, I want to help you use it up and get the benefits, you're going to feel so much better about sharing the oils with people because you're helping them get the benefits from it, because you know you're not going to leave them high and dry, but you're going to give them ongoing help. It's going to be totally great. So you want to do that. Within a day or two of them making the order, reach out, say, let's get together when your oils come in. It's my goal to help you do this. I want to help you do it. Okay? So then you're going to meet for a coffee. I mean, I say coffee. It can be tea. By the way, if your people aren't local, you don't have to meet for coffee. Get on the phone with them. Or if your people are super busy and they're like, no, there's no way I can meet you for a coffee, then I say, let's hop on the phone for 20 minutes. And BT Dubs, you can do this with anyone who's enrolled at any time. So several of you enrolled people when you first got started and didn't know anything about wellness consults, so you didn't do it. Those people bought their orders and then you never heard from them again. Do this now. I sent out emails the other night. I was stuck in an airport for like 3 hours after convention, 3 hours on top of what was a 2-hour layover. So I went into my back office. I looked at all of my enrollments who weren't on LRP or who weren't set up to get the product of the month, and I sent them a message. Hey, so-and-so, I hope you're loving the oils you got. I'd love to hop on the phone and I hope you love the oils you got. If you find that you're not using them as often as you wanted to, I'd love to help. I have some time next week. Let's hop on the phone and we can go over how you can use the oils and how to get the most out of your membership. It's my goal to help you use up all your oils and get all the benefits from them. So I'm really happy to spend this time with you. And they all replied. And now tomorrow I have 3 calls, and on Monday I have 2 calls. So it doesn't have to be, I want you to do it as soon as you enroll them. But if you didn't know this before, because I know like we all just dived into the business and are figuring things out as we go, that's no problem. And if you call up everybody in your team, all of your enrollments, all anybody else's enrollments, if you've been in doTERRA this is for people who have enrolled somebody. If you haven't enrolled somebody yet, I want you to be really clear. You don't have to do this with anybody else. You need to enroll your own people first. So if you have people that have been placed under you, talk to the people above you. They're taking care of their own enrollments. So if I put an enrollment under you, I'm taking care of them. Don't worry about it. So you don't need to do wellness consults until you've started enrolling your own people. It'll be a lot easier for you to do your first wellness consults with people that you know than with strangers. But then if you've been in doTERRA for more than 3 or 4 months, you've started to enroll your own people, then you can go through your entire tree, see who's not on LRP, and send them that message. Hey, just want to help you use up your oils. Let's hop on the phone. You can do it just as easily on the phone as you do in person. All of my wellness consults, except for one, have been on the phone, and they all turned into people who got on LRP and are really happy customers. So you guys are posting some good stuff. Okay, let's see. I'm going to read these to see if you're posting any questions, because I'm here to answer your questions too, not just talk. Alex Campbell says, I read her mind. Yes, so Brittany makes a good point. The worst complaint she's heard about doTERRA from people she's talked to is, I bought my stuff and never heard from her again. I've heard this over and over too. And I live in an area where like nobody's even heard of doTERRA. When people do mention oils, and actually my mom had this issue with Young Living. She bought her oils off somebody and never heard from her again. That means if that's people's complaint, then that's telling you that they want to hear from you. They don't want to feel like you sold a thing and ran away. They want you to build that relationship. Yes. So if you didn't do them from the beginning, Brittany's just saying she didn't either. And so now she's doing it with all of the people. And she said, yeah, okay. That is how you get them in that conversation. Then when you meet, and by the way, ask any questions. If you have any questions about how to invite people to it, ask now. Can't figure out what my shirt is doing. The screen is like flipped. So ask your questions here now. If you're not watching live and you're watching later, post your question. I'll still see it. So you get, let me take a drink actually. So now you have a coffee. You sit down. Then where I like to start, actually, let me pull up. I have some notes here. Okay. So it's Michael to help you use up the oils. I said that part. All right. So I like to first set the agenda. The agenda are these three main things. Let's use the oils you got in. So I start by saying like, hey, it's so good to see you. You got the oils in. So what I want to just make sure we do is help you use up the oils you got, talk about your health concerns so we make sure that you've got the oils to support you, and then show you how to make the most of your membership, and that includes how to log in. Because I don't know if you've tried it yet, but you actually have a login with doTERRA. I'll show you how to do that and how to save the most on any future oils you make and actually get like your shipping you spend back. Okay? They'd normally be like, yeah, that's great. So then I usually ask the question, so what oils did you get? Remind me again of what you got. Sometimes they'll say the kit name. Sometimes they'll be like, oh, I got a bunch of oils. Sometimes they'll be like, oh, I just got lavender or peppermint. And I'll say, okay, awesome. How are you using them? Or are you finding that you're using them? So I'm just asking questions because I don't want to like say, oh, you can put lavender in bug bites if they're already putting lavender on bug bites. So I just ask, what are you using? How are you using them? Sometimes people are like, I haven't even opened it up. Everything they say, that's totally fine. Oh yeah, that's totally fine. That's totally normal. Absolutely. And then I say, okay, so what are your like top 2 or 3 health concerns, either for you or your kids or your husband, like whoever lives with them, right? They'll usually give you more than 2 or 3. If they seem wishy-washy or they're like, oh no, I'm fine, everything's fine, I like to ask, so how about your day? Like, is there any support you could use for your day? Like, do you wake up okay? Do you sleep okay? Do you have a hard time focusing at work? Like, what's your day like? And if you even just ask the question, what's your day like? People will complain. People complain about their health all the time. So you really just have to be listening. So like I was having a wellness consult with somebody and she's like, no health concerns. We're all fine. But we're talking a little bit later. Oh, I really want to give up smoking. I was like, oh, well, that's like a health priority, right? So I wrote down like quit smoking, or she's trying to quit smoking. Another one was like, she wants to eat less sugar. And I was like, okay, we can look that up in the book. So they'll tell you some health concerns. I write them down. I also sometimes say to them, if they are just like, oh man, I have a bunch of questions, I will say to them, you know what? You might want to take notes because we're going to go over a lot and I want to make sure that you have notes. And if they're not like, they don't have a notebook, they don't seem like a note-taking person, I'll have my notebook and I'll write down notes and then I'll give it to them when we leave. My writing's horrible, so that's not preferred. If we're on the phone, I definitely say at the beginning of the call, right, we're going to go over the oils you got, make sure you know how to use them, talk about your health concerns so you make sure you're using oils to support it. And then at the end, I'll show you how to get the most out of your account and actually log on and use your account. Then I say, and we're going to cover a lot and it's hard for us to remember everything we're going to cover. So you may want to take notes. And so that kind of gives them a cue. Sometimes they'll be like, oh, wait, I don't have my notebook. Okay. Oh, wait, I'll let you get it. That just really gets them in the habit of paying attention and And it gives them a resource they can reference in a couple days when they've forgotten. So then they'll tell you what oils they got. They'll tell you how they've been using them. If they say, they'll either say some oil they haven't been using much of, just write it down and say, oh, okay. And then they will say what oils they are using. They will often tell you their health concerns then. So they'll often say like, well, you know, I get fibro fog in the middle of the day, so I've been diffusing Motivate. Awesome. So write down like fibro fog. That's something that they're concerned with. Or they'll say, you know, I hurt my back the other day, so I haven't actually been using the oils much. So write down back pain, because you're going to recommend Deep Blue. Whatever it is that they're talking about, write it down so that you can then go back and say, okay, let's talk about this. So after they talk for a while, you've asked them questions about their life, what their health concerns are, what their day's like, what oils they're using now. I like to stop and say, so do you have any questions you want to make sure we go over? I write down their questions. Sometimes I get excited and I can't stop myself from answering their question right then. But then I'll say, all right, so I'm going to make sure that you get the most out of your oils. So it sounds like you're not using oregano and melaleuca, and you also are looking for support with your fibro fog and your headache. Yes. Then like confirm. Okay, awesome. So at this point, I will often either open up my Modern Essentials app, or I have the Modern Essentials book. It was right here. I moved it into my living room. It's a huge book. It can be a little overwhelming. You can get the mini Modern Essentials guide and open up that book. And I will say melaleuca, tea tree oil. So here's how some of my friends have been using it, or how some of my customers have been using it. And I rattle off a couple stories. Oh, you know, it's really common to put it in kids' shampoo to help fight off lice, or I think in the UK it's called nits. That's like the base usage of tea tree oil, is to get rid of lice and bugs. So I really recommend, if your kid is in school or with other people, or kindergarten or preschool, Sunday school, Hebrew school, any kind of school, you want to put some tea tree oil in your shampoo, and that's going to keep him from getting lice, and it's going to kill any lice that he picks up. Of course, you'll have been asking questions, so you'll know if they have kids or not, right? Another thing is like tea tree's good at killing infection and also keeping you from getting sick. So you put it on the bottom of your feet, diffuse it when somebody has a cold, like give them 2 or 3 ideas. If you don't know and you've heard no stories of anyone ever using oregano, pop open the book, go to oregano, and then look for, don't just read them off everything, look for their specific life. So maybe they're really active, maybe they travel a lot. Look for examples that relate to them and give them suggestions. Hopefully they're taking notes. So then you would also go to those health concerns and be like, oh, so somebody, this is from my wellness consult I ever did. We're on the phone. She had talked about using the oils for her fibro fog, like fibromyalgia fog in the day. And I said, oh, well, so, you know, I know one of the things with fibromyalgia is also like joint pain. She's like, oh yeah, it's like muscle soreness and fatigue. I said, okay, well, do you have some Deep Blue rub? Because you really, like, people love Deep Blue rub for muscle fatigue and muscle soreness related to either working out or fibromyalgia or some other issues. So I'm going to suggest, like, that is my best suggestion for fibromyalgia pain is Deep Blue rub. My friends who have it really love it. And if they didn't get that with their kit, I'm like, okay, well, let's just write that down as a possible oil that you might, or a possible product you might want to look at, and then we'll talk about how to save on these things. And usually they're like, yeah, okay, awesome, let's write down more, right? So maybe they're cleaning with lemon, and I'll be like, oh, well, you know, if you love cleaning with lemon and it cheers you right up, you might also want to check out grapefruit, or Elevation is citrusy. Another one is Citrus Bliss, which people absolutely love. Or, you know, you can mix lemon and melaleuca to even like up the bacteria killing power of your cleaner. Oh, and you know, they actually sell On Guard cleaner that is like, On Guard is amazing. They've done so many studies that show how it kills bacteria. And I might even tell them of the study that I just saw at convention that they did, where bacteria didn't grow on a surface for 10 days after it was sprayed down with On Guard. Right? So that's what I'm talking about. You just like listen to what they say, and then you make suggestions. If they say something you've never heard of, which has totally happened to me before, I'm like, I don't know what that is. Let's look it up. The other thing I say a lot is, you know, we're not trying to, especially with something like mental illness or Asperger's or autism or fibromyalgia, like chronic issues or illnesses or like not being neurotypical, I say, so our goal here isn't to cure it, it's to lessen the symptoms. So we can look up autism or Asperger's, and there's definitely a whole bunch of stuff about what people use for that, but what they're using it for is to help the symptoms. So if your Asperger's kid has high anxiety, we'll look at oils for anxiety. If they have a hard time focusing, we'll look at oils that help them focus. So like I like kind of break it down, because if you just say fibromyalgia, you might mean fog, or you might mean joint pain. I don't want to assume, so I just ask questions like that. So like, okay, so, and that's what I'm saying. If they say something you've never heard of, say, okay, so what are some of the symptoms that you're dealing with that? Let's look at oils that can help those symptoms, and they will help you like on a deeper than symptom basis, but let's just get started with that. The other thing I've been doing in these wellness consults is basically, no matter what their issue is, having a solid foundation of nutrition and cellular health is going to make them feel better. So I talk about the Lifelong Vitality Pack if they don't already have it. And I'm like, this is amazing. And if you, and if they've just joined in August or September and they make it 100 LRP the next month, the promotion right now is that they'll get the LLV for free. So that's what I've been talking about. You're going to get that for free. This is all the ways that it's going to help. It's going to help your fibro. It's going to help your migraines. For many people, it helps your migraines. It's going to help you feel better and have longer energy throughout the day. I wake up more refreshed. I can actually work longer throughout the day without getting tired. All of those things. So that's it. So we talk about their health. I suggest oils. I look up in the book anything I don't know, or I look it up on my app. I show them the app, and then I say, oh, write this down. You're going to want to get the Modern Essentials app, and you might even want to get the Modern Essentials mini book. You can get it on Amazon. I'll send you that link after. Another thing you can do is the app Droply, L-I-I. FedEx is just texting me. It needs my signature on something, but tomorrow. So the app Droply, you can actually share with people with your contact information in it. So like if you have, and Dave was just telling me about this, it's like $9 for the mentor plan. And if you get the mentor plan, it then gives you like free coupons you can send people for them to get the app for free. It's a really, really cool app. If you all are interested in it, I can have Dave send it to you. So like leave me your name or number, or message me, direct message me your name and number, and I'll send you that. It's something I'm looking into as a thing to send people. So you've suggested the app, you've suggested the books. The other thing you can do, and you guys can tell me if you ever did this, I don't tend to do this, you can make a roller ball together. So if you talked a little bit about dilution in your class or your 101 and they have kids, I like to bring a roller ball and my coconut oil, and they bring their oils, and I'm like, okay, so remember how we talked about dilution in kids? Let's make you up a blend related to that health issue you talk about, and I'll show you how easy it is to make roller balls. And then I tell them these roller balls are like $12, it's like $20 for 12 on Amazon. I look that up ahead of time. and then afterwards I'll even send them that link. So I kind of make a note of any links I promise to send them. And then as soon as we're done, I open up my text or my email and I send them those links. Like I don't leave the coffee shop until I do the follow-up of whatever follow-up I said I was going to do, because otherwise I'll totally forget. So you've gone over the oils. You have suggested oils that would be in alignment with what their goals are. Those are just going to come up naturally. So any oil that comes up naturally, they might ask a question like, oh, well, I got the Home Essentials, but what I really would like is some oils to help with anxiety and depression. You can talk about the emotional aromatherapy oils and how they've been specially blended to help with issues like anger and sadness, and to pick you up and make like decrease negative emotions and increase positive emotions. And you can say, well, there's a whole kit, or you can buy them one-on-one. You can actually get them the liquid oils if you love to diffuse, or you can get them in the touch rollerball form. And by the way, at this wellness consult, when I do it in person, I have a selection of the oils that they don't currently have with me. So if they got the Home Essentials kit, I leave my Home Essential oils at home, but I bring in my emotional aromatherapy oils, my past tense, my Clary Calm, my Deep Blue Rub, because those are the kinds of things they're going to be asking questions about. So, and I like let them, you know, like basically put on oils of the ones they might want to get. And then, yeah, so oils that they might get anytime an oil comes up, write a note of it. Resources, so then you might talk about rollerballs, you might talk about books, you might talk about apps. Keep that part super short. Like I just do a couple sentences where I mention it and then say, you know what, I'll send you the link when we're done. And then I say to them, okay, so you've got some oils here you're interested in getting. So let me show you, before you order these, I need to show you the best way to order them. So doTERRA has an LRP program, or no, I don't say LRP. It's like, so the best way to order them is with the loyalty rewards program. And how the loyalty rewards program works is you put in an order and you schedule it for the future. So when you just pick a day in the future and you schedule it, and then it gets processed and you don't get charged till the day that you schedule it for the future. And when you do that, you're going to earn 100% of your shipping back in points that will be applied to your account. And you're going to get 10% off whatever you spend back in points. And the longer that you do an LRP order each month of any size, the longer that you do the LRP order every month, the bigger percentage you're going to earn back. So as long as you do $50 each month, you'll keep earning more and more until after a year, you're earning 30% back. So if you put in a $100 order, you're going to get $30 back in points. And to maintain those points, to not lose them, you only have to do $1 a month. And here's the thing. If you set up an LRP order this month because you want to get some oils and you decide you want to cancel it, you can cancel it. Like you're not committing to keep it going. To keep those points, you want to keep making orders of at least $1. And then I always have people ask, yeah, but is there anything for $1? Like, yeah, chapstick. It's like $2, I think. And I say, like, there's plenty of things under $5. We're under 10. So that's it. So I say, you're going to make the loyalty rewards order. And I was like, actually, you know, it's much easier to just show it to you on a computer. So have you logged into your account yet? Because when they enrolled, or when you enrolled them, they got an email with their ID number. And if you made them a password, they got that password. If you didn't make them a password, then they need to go in and set it up. So I just asked them, have you logged in yet? If they say, yeah, I'm like, have you done it on your phone? Let's just open it on your phone. I'll show you the next steps. If they say no, I will often open up my computer, or I'll ask them, do you want to do it on my computer, or do you want to do it on your phone so your password is saved on your phone? Most people want to do it on their phone. It's a little harder because it's a little smaller, but like basically if they're under 45, I assume they want to have it on their phone. So if this is over Skype, I will screen share my screen, or I will ask them to screen share their screen and we'll go through it on their screen. So what we have them do is open up, go to doTERRA.com, go to the login, put in their number, which often, by the way, before a wellness consult, I'll write down their number. So we have that. If they haven't logged in yet, then they click like first time login. They generate a password. Then we log in with a password. And then the very first thing that comes up on your first login is, do you want to create an LRP order? If that doesn't come up, I navigate over to that with them. And then we see the dates. And at this point, I say, oh, this is a cool thing about the loyalty rewards program. If you put in your order before the 15th and you're spending at least 125 points, like almost $125, you will get a free oil. So if you're interested in that, we can set it up before the 15th. But you can pick before the 15th and not spend 125, and then they'll always say, what's a free oil? So if we're doing this in September, I don't know what the October order is, because this is the thing to keep in mind. If they made an order this month, their LRP can't be this month. It'll be next month. So that's why you want to like meet with them in the first 7 days, because you also get to say, you know, this isn't going to come, like you have some time to think about it. So that's what I say. I'm like, let's open it up. Let's pick a date. Let's just pick a date before the 15th. Like I explain the thing. And if they have any hesitation, I'll say, well, let's pick a date before the 15th in case you really want the oil of the month. You'll make sure to get it, but you can come in here and change this at any time. Setting this up today does not charge your card. You're setting it up for your card to be charged on that date. So if today is September 14th, which I think it is, I'll say, okay, let's pick the 13th. That gives you time to like think about it and decide. That gives you a whole month. So pick the date. The next thing, we just add things to the cart. So I'll say, from this list of oils we talked about, was there one you're more excited about? I'm just going to show you how to add it to the cart. They'll say deep blue rub, grapefruit, whatever. I type that in, it adds, and then I'm like, okay, awesome, this is in your cart. Now, we have to complete the order. And usually to complete your first order, you have to type in your credit card information. So we do that. You click next, you click next, you click ship is processed. I actually do that with them. And then I say, if you want to cancel this, we'll go right in and cancel it, but I want to walk you all the way through the end, because when you get home, you're going to be like, I don't remember this part. So I want to show it to you. And they all are like, yeah, okay, definitely. Because people want to know how to do it and they want to be empowered to do it, even if they're going to go in and cancel it. It's fine. So when it's all done, we will put in everything in their cart. If they're like, ooh, I want a free oil, like, okay, let's total these things up. What is your priority on this list? And if they don't know, if it's just a list of oils and they don't know, I'm like, okay, so what's your health priority? Let's pick the oils that you most care about the health priority this month. Okay, awesome. We pick the oils they most care about. We total it up. I get them to 125 because that's going to get them the free oil. We finish processing it. I remind them again, you're not going to be charged till the 13th or whatever date we picked, right? And then we get to the end. And then I say, like, okay, so I want you to know, this is scheduled to process on the 13th. I'm going to put a reminder in my phone to remind you to change it. You can change it now. You can change it later. You can change it in the middle of the night when you're thinking about it. If you find an oil you really want to get, you can go in, you can delete things, you can add things, you can cancel this. Now, if you cancel this after you've earned some points, you're going to lose all those points. And if you have any questions going forward about how to keep your points and how to grow more points, just send me a message. Like, I'm here to help you. I want you to save as much as you can on oils, and I want you to feel like you know how to use all your oils up. So I'm here to help you. I'm going to do some events for our team. I'm going to invite you to webinars, like whatever will help you get the most out of these oils. That's what I'm here for. And then that's how we end it. And then I say, and then usually they're like, oh my goodness, thank you so much. That was awesome. So that's everything. That's a wellness consult. You talk about their health, you talk about their oils, you help them list other oils that they're interested in, and then you show them how to get those oils by like doing it together. Now, this is way easier when you're in person for the tech side of things, but if you're not in person, that shouldn't stop you from getting on Skype together. You can use Skype, you can use Google Chat. Like I'm telling you guys, builders, I'm happy to help you learn that technology. If you enroll somebody across the world, I will help you learn Skype so that you can do one. I'll do one with you, your first enrollment or two, whatever will help you. And when I say I mean either me or your mentor, depending on who you're working with. But don't let technology, fear, anything hold you back. Because like Brittany mentioned, the number one complaint about all MLMs is that the person sold to them and then ghosted. Don't do that. Be there for your customers, because this is what's going to getting those people on LRP and using their oils so they use it up. That is going to make your business sustainable. Unlike that market booth where you just sold one product, you're going to have regular recurring income. It's the only way you can maintain rank. And it is also the only way you can make people happy. Like people are not going to get a lot out of the oils if they only ever get those 10 home essential oils and never reorder. That means they're not using them. They're not getting the benefits from them. You sell a thing because you believe that it has benefits. So it's our job to help them use the benefits. And that will help you maintain rank. That will help you maintain your income. So like if you have a big month where you enroll a lot of people and then nobody gets on LRP, your income plummets because you haven't sold anything. That's true in every business. If you do a big craft show and you sell a lot of products and then nobody comes back and buys from you online later or comes to the show the next day, your income plummets. The awesome thing is that we're in a business that A, is consumable, people use it up. B, there's such an amazing program for reordering. This is not Amazon's just like subscribe and save thing. You're getting points back. You're getting free oils every month. And every 3 or 4 months, you get an amazing promo. Like that if you spend $200, you get an Immortelle for free. What? That's amazing. So they won't have access to any of that if you don't talk to them. So you go out and talk to them, my little friends. Let me tell you that it feels amazing when you meet with somebody and they're so, so happy. In a chat I was having with some of the builders, people were sharing stories of the reactions they get to having a wellness consult with people. And again, I'm calling it a wellness consult because that's kind of what doTERRA calls it and the doTERRA community calls it. Me and almost all of my builders call it getting a cup of coffee after your oils come in, or having a catch up after your oils come in. Or what I say to my people, because I'm enrolling people online, so they're all over the world, is I say, let's jump on the phone. So it's just a jump on the phone. And that time that you spend, and by the way, you want to spend under an hour because people have busy lives and people won't meet with you again ever if you spend 3 hours every time you get together. So talk to them, help them use their oils. What Miyako said she did is she went to somebody's house and they had not even opened their box. So she opened their box with them and was like, you're going to use this for this. You're going to use this for this. You're going to use this for this. And kind of walked them all through it. And then she's like, take the lemon, put it in your kitchen because you're going to use it to clean. You're going to use it in your water. Take the oregano, maybe either put it in your kitchen or put it in your bathroom, depending on what kind of thing you're using it for. You're going to want to put your diffuser in your living room. She got them all set up with the oils in their house. So if you can do that, that's awesome too. And Jolie mentions that, this whole, you don't have to spend very much to keep your points. The On Guard spray is 5 PV. I think it costs $6 total. And it's so awesome because it's a hand sanitizer spray. So I'm going to have one in my purse. I'm going to put one in the, in the car. Because Jay has this gel hand sanitizer, which I hate. It's full of chemicals. So I'm going to have one on the car. I'm going to have one in my purse. If I worked a job, I'd have one at the job. And when I travel, I'm going to keep an extra one in my suitcase. The other thing I have to say about the hand sanitizer spray, which comes out in October in the US store, is that I have been on planes doing a drop of On Guard and the whole plane smells like On Guard. I use this spray. Nobody noticed. It's got a much milder scent and it dries right away. It doesn't fill up the whole plane, which made me feel less self-conscious. Of course, it also gave me less opportunity to talk about the oils with people, but it was better to not have filled up a whole spray with my On Guard. So any questions? My battery's about to die, so I need to plug it in before it dies on me. So I'm going to go post your questions. It says I have 3 minutes. Any questions for those of you that are watching live? If you're watching the recording later, ask me your question in the comments. If you want to share your own experiences, you can post your screenshots of when you've sent a text inviting somebody to a wellness consult. You can send a screenshot of the replies you've gotten, how grateful people are after you meet with them. Tell us your experiences, and let's not be afraid to do this because it's going to be how you build a sustainable business. At this point, I think 90% of my own enrollments are on LRP, and I get messages from them every month about how much they love their oils. It's the best thing ever. It makes me love doing this because I know it's helping people. And if those people just bought their oils and I never talked to them again, they wouldn't be able to love their oils. And one in the dog walking bag. We don't have a dog walking bag. We just take them out to the yard in the neighborhood. But yes. Okay, so what we do have it's like a keychain thing that clips on with a bag, but it's not we need to get a carabiner for the hand sanitizer spray is what you're saying. Okay, you guys have an excellent, excellent day. And if you have any questions, let me know. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Finish. Oh my